Hi lovelies! So first off, excuse me, I have a fever. Because it just wouldn't be 11 o'clock unless I had a fever. So I'm going to have to drink a lot of water to get through this. Bear with me. For those of you who haven't seen my diet kind of story, journey, I'm going to say, it was a journey videos. You can find them up above in the cards. So as you know, if you have now gone and watched said videos, I've moved from not being able to eat any kinds of carbs or starchy foods onto then doing the Candida diet to kind of clear out my body. Never again. And I'm now on the FODMAP diet. And FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. FODMAP is an elimination diet for anyone who has digestive discomfort and issues. It can also be used by people who suffer from chronic migraines, people who have fibromyalgia, people who have MS, or those who have eczema. Things that are generally caused by your body reacting to certain foods. So what you do is you take out these groups of foods and then you add them back in one at a time. What are these groups of food? This includes fructose, that is the fruit in vegetables? The sugar in vegetables, there we go. Lactose, which is the sugar in dairy. Fructans, which are the sugars in veg and grains. Galactans, which is excellent because it makes it sound like an alien race, which are those in legumes. Probably my worst one, actually. And polyols, which are a type of artificial sugar. A polyol, though, however, is any artificial sugar that ends in ol. So things like sucralose or stevia are fine, but something like mannitol or erythritol. Obviously, I'm not a scientist. I don't know whether you are, but you possibly don't know everything that comes under the banners of those various different words. Believe me, I didn't. And also some of it's quite random, such as asparagus. Who knew? Who knew? Asparagus? Not good. Bean sprouts? Good. Sugar snap peas? Bad. Things that I found that really kind of work for me, and things that, oh my god, I eliminated them from my diet and it is excellent. I'll give you a little run through in a minute of various things that come up into these two categories. Remember that because this is an elimination diet, it's not intended to be long term. You cut all of the FODMAPs out and then you introduce them one by one. And obviously, since you're introducing one by one, whenever something doesn't work or it goes wrong, then you know exactly what it is and you can just, no dairy for me. Of the various things that come under the heading of FODMAP, the things that I found that are really bad for me would probably be fructose. That's not good. Lactose, also not my friend. Galactans, as I mentioned, no. And strangely enough, polyols. There are a lot of things that I was using that are sugar-free, that are totally fine for me, and a lot of things that are sugar-free that were not working for me, and those obviously had the sweeteners that end in ol. Cut them from my life, and oh my god, I was in digestive discomfort every single day. I'm not going to say it's completely gone, but it's like one day a fortnight I get horrific pain rather than every single day. It really does make a difference. Here's a little list of high FODMAP foods. Asparagus, onions, pulses, legumes, garlic, sugar snap peas, beetroot, celery, sweet corn. In high FODMAP fruits, we've got pretty much anything that has a stone. So that's from mangoes to peaches to plums. But also some things with seeds like apples or pears. Watermelon nectarine, also not great. Dairy products, just dairy products. I'm going to list them. It's like every dairy product. Don't eat dairy. And then we've got the grains section. This includes rye and pretty much anything with wheat in, although wheat itself isn't actually a FODMAP. But hey, it doesn't hurt, you know? And then if everything's working out, you can introduce some gluten back in. And if you're fine with it, good for you. I am not. Now don't worry, that was the bad stuff. We're moving on to the good stuff. Low FODMAP foods include bean sprouts, green beans, pak choy, carrots, bell pepper, herbs, cucumber, lettuce, tomato, and zucchini. It's called a courgette. Basically, if it's not in the onion family, you're doing well. And in terms of fruit, you still have some to choose from. We've got bananas, orange, grapes, mandarins, pretty much every melon except a watermelon. Ugh. Dairy, anything lacto-free is going to be good for you. Okay, so you can use any kind of oils and spreads. I know those don't actually come under dairy, but things that don't have dairy in. You can also use your lacto-free milk, lacto-free butter, lacto-free cheese. And then we get to the low FODMAP grains. Now this is something that I personally have a little bit of trouble with, but maybe it'll be different for you. These include things like oats, which I don't agree with very well, quinoa, which I swear to God is my enemy, sourdough spelt bread, and gluten-free bread, which is something I'm really trying to work towards, and every time I try it I'm like, maybe this will be the day. Oh no. Why doesn't she lie down? Because if she lay down every time something went wrong, when would she get up? Why am I talking in the third person? Now, don't panic if this all seems very scary and like there are a lot of different rules and things you have to put in and not put in. It's actually quite simple as long as you have the lists of food that you can and you can't eat. Those are available online in many different formats. Print them out, stick them to the fridge, take them shopping with you. You're going to be okay. If you need some recipes, there are also plenty online and on my own blog. Everything I put on my blog is going to be FODMAP friendly. Now, keep in mind that the idea that FODMAP is temporary doesn't necessarily mean that that relates to all people. Yes, for most people it will just be a temporary thing and then they can go back to eating, you know, just all the stuff minus that one thing that they found they now can't eat. But for others of us, just like me, you're probably going to find that nothing actually works when you put it back into your diet and you just want to keep it all eliminated. And as long as you're okay doing that, as long as you're getting all the calories, all the nutrients that you need, that's fine. It's all right. Obviously, consult your doctor first before taking on any kind of new diet. I'm going to make a recipe. This is my promise. This is my pledge. I'm going to make a recipe for some kind of FODMAP friendly onion bhaji. I hope you found this brief little explanation into the FODMAP diet to be really helpful. Let me know down in the comments below if you are also following a FODMAP diet, if it's worked for you in the past, or maybe even if it didn't work for you. Also let me know what other kind of recipes you'd like to see. Have a look at this card up above for some more recipes that I do. They're not all FODMAP friendly though, because some of them are from the Candida diet, which is a different thing. But you know, food, it's good as long as it doesn't hurt you.